Y'all man, don't sleep on him. Go sit up in this bushes some goddamn time. I promise you'll see that intellect jump right on out at your ass. And you'll find yourself coming through every time he go live, even if you don't drop down, because that young man got something to talk about.
Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out, bring them out.
Yeah, I mean.
All right. Thanks for joining me, you guys. In the courtyard, it is good to come through. I just wanted to do a real quick live, based on some things I keep coming into. I keep coming into it, and I'm thinking I'm not going to come into it, but I come into it again. But I just wanted to say rest in peace, because we had like two back-to-back deaths, two black men. One was former athlete O.J. Simpson, who had passed. I think I read at the age he passed at the age of 76 due to a battle with cancer, which I don't think I knew that he had. Let me see the comments. Let me look over in the comments. What is up, Felice? It is good to see you. I actually been thinking about you, whether you believe me or not. I actually have. So it is so good to actually see you. Let me move over. Let me highlight first. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, but how are you? It's good to see you. I think about you, sis. I just remember all of our conversations and the um the collabs that we had. I mean, they were really good, like dealing with the politics over there, but you know, that's like nostalgia and everything. But I had such a good time with you. Anyway, so we have the passing of O.J. Simpson at the age of 76 due to his battle with cancer. Also, we have, well, let me put the images up that I prepared. So you have O.J. Simpson. I put my little candles up there to say rest in power. Condolences to his family and his loved ones, regardless to how widely hated he is. He still had people with him, his family, who loved him dearly. And you also have DJ Mr. C. That goes back. I've covered him over the years or whatever, but he passed at the age of 57. I feel like that's still kind of young. And I don't really have information on any health conditions or anything like that. But one thing that I've noticed is over the years, he's gotten smaller and smaller and smaller. and his build and his body weight, that's not always an indication of any health issues or whatever. But I know this because he used to be a chunky guy. But when he passed, he was on the small side. You couldn't even call him fat anymore. What is up, Ron P? It is good to see you too. Okay, my Avatar family nation, my Avatar Nation family. That's my dyslexia, y'all, kicking in. I have a lot of things going on. And I'm also I will be working tonight too. But it is good to see you guys. So you also had DJ Mr. C. Who okay, so people he has a long, extensive history. He made a lot of a lot of actual contributions to hip hop music, actually. But a lot of people may know him for being a producer for Biggie Smalls. Um, I'm trying to think of the other thing I was going to note about Mr. C. It's not coming to my head. Oh, he was DJ for Big Daddy Kane. You know who Big Daddy Kane was back in my time, my day. Let's see. I want to put Avatar Nation up. Okay, I'm rapping all day. Okay, shit ain't changing. Okay. Um, so yeah, so rest in peace to them. But one of the last times I did cover DJ Mr. C, I was speaking about just some scandalous stuff he had going on in terms. Oh wait a minute, this is on. Let me take this off of loop. God, need to pay attention. Okay, so I was talking about some scandalous stuff dealing with his little situationships and things of that nature. You know, he was under the impression that he could deal with not even transgenders, but I would say trans people. Notice what I'm saying, you guys. You can be trans without being transgender. Like you have transvestite. That's the reason why trans is there. And transvestite fits under what they call the trans umbrella. So does drag. It is situated and listed under it. So I just want you guys to know that. No, they're not. I am in no way saying that they are transgender. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it falls under the trans umbrella because you're bending gender roles and things of that nature, or removing gender roles. Some people fight to remove them. Some people fight to blend them. That would be like an androgynous people. Okay, but when it comes to DJ Mr. C, I see him as a non-street person, although he defined himself even when he was caught up, when he was forced to admit that he was dealing with transgender people. But here's the thing: he kind of cheated because one of the last people that snitched on him was not even transgender, but that was someone that he did something with, and it was a YouTuber, and he happens to dress and drag. You know, I happen to know of him before he even transitioned to YouTube. I'm not gonna say how, but the gay male that set him up was really scandalous. I would say, and very messy. Let me go and look towards the comments to see. Okay, yes, we do, Ron. Okay, nothing new. Yeah, okay, that's the last one. Yes, we do, Ron. Okay, yeah. So I kind of considered him non-straight. And let me just say this: whether people identify, put it like this, whether trans attracted men identify as trans attracted or not, if I know that you're trans attracted, I see you as part of the LGBT. You know, just not. I see you as part of the LGBT, but you just don't identify. In my mind, definitely. And I see all people that's part of the LGBT as queer, except for like the asexual people. They're not queer because you could be asexual and heterosexual. So yes, there's heterosexual people in the LGBT if they're asexual. You know, I just want to point that out. But yeah, that's a good segue into my next discussion real quick. And this is going to be short, you guys, but this is over months, you guys. I hear people in this sector, and normally the heterosexual cisgender people, and they call themselves, and normally they're content creators. I'm not going to name really any names, you know, because I don't really want to target anybody, but it's certain people that I watch, and from time to time I see them drop the F bomb, like when they're going back and forth, like with a content creator who happens to be homosexual, especially if they're male, and they'll drop the F bomb. Um, but then later on, when things get quiet and they're not like quarreling or bantering with a homosexual male, they'll call themselves an ally. Like, and it's like, I'm like, what? So I just wanted to define what an ally is and just to be out of here, just give some good information. But an ally does not mean that you tolerate homosexuals. There's a lot of people over here that can tolerate it. It don't even mean that you like them, or you may have someone who's a good friend of yours who happens to be that. It's a little deeper than that. And it's a whole, I would call it like a politically grounded like term, and it's an action term, and it's deep. It's deep, and it don't matter like how much you may like a homosexual, be cool with one, or how cool it may sound to label yourself as an ally, but it's work involved in that. So I just want to actually educate some people to what they're saying when they're trying to get away with calling yourself an ally. But I'm gonna tell you this: there's no way that you can get angry with a homosexual male and use the F bomb to denigrate them and to dehumanize them or to bash them when it's an actual slur, and then call yourself an ally, because allies actually don't do anything like that. They don't even make mistakes and do anything like that, because they know what being an ally means. So I'm gonna put this definition up, you guys, and read it off. What is an ally? An ally is an individual who speaks out and stands up for a person or group that is targeted and discriminated against. An ally works to women. An ally works to an oppression by supporting and advocating for people who are stigmatized, discriminated against, or treated unfairly. So it don't matter how cool you are with someone, how much you may tolerate a particular group. If you don't do those things, you definitely not an ally. Here's an additional definition that I just picked up in preparation for this topic, you guys. It reads, it's a definition of an LGBT ally. And you know how the LGBT members use it. They use sexual orientation in front of it. So they don't just simply say an ally, they would say my heterosexual ally friend. This is how they use it. So it says a heterosexual ally is a heterosexual person who supports the rights of a homosexual or trans person and challenges homophobia and transphobia. And then it goes on to say a heterosexual ally believes that LGBT people face discrimination and thus are socially disadvantaged. A heterosexual ally aims to use their privileged heterosexual position in society to fight homophobia and transphobia. So you definitely can't be out there using the F-bomb and then turn around and call yourself an ally. You playing it in somebody's face when you do that. Let me see. I'm gonna read this. You are the first person over here to say same gender loving. Yes, that I know of. That I hear people saying it everywhere in the sector. Most definitely. Thanks for acknowledging that. But yeah, that's definitely true. I could okay here. Wait a minute. Troy Allen. I heard him refer to himself as an ally, and I wonder why he considers that. But I could remember when I introduced myself as being same gender loving, it was many people that came at me, and he was one of them that came at. Look, I remember everything. It was one of them that came at me. In his mind, he said I made it up and it wasn't legitimate. However, in recent years, when I say recent years, I mean this year or maybe last year, I heard him refer to Passer as same gender loving. So I wanted to know, I don't want to argue with Troy, but I wanted to know, did he realize he misspoke then? Because before it was, in his mind, he said it was illegitimate when I used it, simply because he didn't have knowledge of it. I think that's kind of arrogant. But today he acknowledges the term. I heard him refer to pastors. That I'm like, okay, that's a change because he was about to bite my head off. You know what I mean? But some people think you need that permission to identify yourself, or that you need help. When you have a better clue about how this works than they do, especially if you're a member of the LGBT. You know. So let me put this up. Read this. I remember people would come at you all the time, right? Because they say that you are not right, being gay. Okay, let me read this and not laugh all through it. I remember people would come at you all the time because they say that you're not acknowledging being gay by saying same gender loving. And I am actually, because those same isn't that what I'm supposed to do if I'm not going to use the term gay? Wouldn't it's only appropriate that I will use a synonym or a synonymous term. So yeah, it does mean the same thing. And when I'm saying I'm same gender attracted or I'm same gender loving, that's definitely saying, hey, my attractions go to the same sex, same gender. No? So I'm not the one confused, but yeah, people are catching up. It just kind of means that I was a little with that term, with that terminology. I was a little before my time in this sector because these people are slow at catching up. But I'm depicted as being a slow one, but it never works out that way. But that is true. Thank you so much for acknowledging it. Yo, my jewels be dropping jewels, right? Thanks for being in the courtyard. So yeah, it kind of goes beyond like whether you are endearing towards a homosexual, whether you're cool with one, or whatever relationship, personal relationships you may have. But it is work involved in being an ally. It really is. And if you haven't done that work, you can't truly call yourself that, because you're cheapening the term. You're cheapening the word. Yeah. So it's a pointed definition. It's very specific what an ally is. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care who in your family may be a member of the LGBT and how much you love them. That's nothing. It has nothing, little to nothing to do with being an ally, I would say. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not a member over here. I'm trying to get my numbers up, you guys. And also, shares go a long way. But like I said, this is going to be a short live. Okay, let me look towards the comments. Okay, I'm not seeing anything new. Thank you guys so much, Ron P. I miss you, man. Stop through more often. Let me see you more often. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna find an outro and I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, when I heard the last person that I heard call themselves an ally, I almost spit my food out because I was eating at the time. I'm like, what? Because I often, well, not often, that's not true. But I hear this person more than once, more than twice, use the F-bomb and going back and forth. Thank you so much, Ron. Appreciate you. We get out of here. So yeah, that's a whole slur. And maybe you're numb to it and desensitized to it, but I'll never get used to that term. It seems like every time I hear it, and it doesn't even matter. People say, yo, this is the beef sector to make every evil, wicked thing okay. Like when they think like when they say that, like it's gonna make every evil existing thing okay with you, and it doesn't. But I cringe every time I hear it. And yeah, I expect some people to say it, but I'll never get used to it. It's a whole slur out here. And I just hear hate when I hear it, no matter how it's heard, if it's whispered or whatever. But yeah, that's what it is. Let me find my outro. I'm just scanning through it. Here we go. All right, let's get it, you guys.